أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد رسول الله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبعد فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. We are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us another opportunity to continue our studies on learning how to recite the Holy Qur'an. Today is our second day and we delve into the lesson. We are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We continue with our lessons. Today is lesson number 2. Lesson number 2. However, before we begin today's lesson, let me take this moment and then refresh our minds on the lesson we had earlier. That was lesson number 1. Let's have a quick lesson number 1. I know you are eager to see today's lesson, but just have a little more patience as we revise our lesson number 1 and then we will go to lesson number 2, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha, Dal, Dhal, Ra, Zain, Sin, Shin, Swad, Dhad, Ta, Dha, Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Lam, Mim, Noon, Ha, Wa, Lam Alif, Hamzat, Ta, Ya. MashaAllah. Now, let's go into the next lesson, lesson number 2. Let's see what we have today, inshallah. However, before we begin today's lesson, I would like to remind you that you need to have an exercise book with you. So if you don't have one, please just pause the video, go and get yourself a book, and then you come and continue with the class, because today's class, it will involve writing, inshallah. So let's go to the lesson. Today's lesson is introducing the character fatha, which has this sign. Now take note, this one was made to represent a letter, but this is actually the character we are looking at, the one on top. It is called fatha. Now this character fatha, which has the vowel sound it has the vowel sound Example. Now we have this alif, and then we have the character fatha written on top of the alif as this. This is the alif, and this is the character fatha written on top of the alif. So that is what we are going to be looking at today. Now remember, introducing the character fatha, which has the vowel sound ah. So let's look at this example. We have the example here. The letter alif and the character fatha on top of the alif. Now, in mentioning this, it is very simple. You just look at the appearance and then you mention it as it is. In other words, you mention the alif first. So you mention alif. What is the character written on top of the alif? Fatha. So alif, fatha. Alif, fatha. And that will give us ah. Remember, the character fatha is having the vowel sound ah. So in other words, alif, fatha, ah. And then it goes in that order. Now let's go into the lesson and then we'll have more of it to go through. So having dealt with the example, let's now go into the lesson. Now, mashallah. So we have the letters here, and so we follow the rules of pronunciation, and then we'll be able to mention them as easy as possible. Remember, we are dealing with the vowel sound a. So, first thing, we mention the name of the letter, and then we mention the character on it. And then we use the vowel sound of the character, and then we pronounce it. So let's begin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif, fatha, a. Alif, fatha, a. Ba, fatha, ba. Ba, fatha, ba. Ta, fatha, ta. Ta, fatha, ta. Tha, fatha, tha. Tha, fatha, tha. Jim, fatha, ja. Jim, fatha, ja. Ha, fatha, ha. Ha, fatha, ha. Kha, fatha, kha. Kha, fatha, kha. Dal, fatha, da. Dal, fatha, da. Dhal, fatha, dha. Dhal, fatha, dha. Ra, fatha, ra. Ra, fatha, ra. Zain, fatha, za. Zain, fatha, za. Sin, fatha, sa. Sin, fatha, sa. Shin, fatha, sha. Shin, fatha, sha. Swad, fatha, sa. Swad, fatha, sa. Vod, fatha, dha. Vod, fatha, dha. Ta, fatha, ta. Ta, fatha, ta. Va, fatha, va. Va, fatha, va. Ain, fatha, a. Ain, fatha, a. Ghain, fatha, ga. Ghain, fatha, ga. Fa, fatha, fa. Fa, fatha, fa. Qaf, fatha, qa. Qaf, fatha, qa. كاف فتحة كا كاف فتحة كا لام فتحة لا لام فتحة لا ميم فتحة ما ميم فتحة ما نون فتحة نا نون فتحة نا ه فتحة ه ه فتحة ه و فتحة و فتحة و لم ألف فتحة لا لم ألف فتحة لا همزة فتحة أ همزة فتحة أ تاء فتحة تاء تاء فتحة تاء يا فتحة يا يا فتحة يا MashaAllah. So this is the end of the vowel sound. MashaAllah. So let's try and take it once again. MashaAllah. And remember, do read with me this time. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Fatha A. Alif Fatha A. Ba Fatha Ba. Ba Fatha Ba. Ta Fatha Ta. Ta Fatha Ta. Tha Fatha Tha. Tha Fatha Tha. Jim Fatha Ja. Jim Fatha Ja. Ha Fatha Ha. Ha Fatha Ha. Kha Fatha Kha. Kha Fatha Kha. Dal Fatha Da. Dal Fatha Da. Dhal Fatha Dha. Dhal Fatha Dha. Ra Fatha Ra. Ra Fatha Ra. Zain Fatha Za. Zain Fatha Za. Sin Fatha Sa. Sin Fatha Sa. Shin Fatha Sha. Shin Fatha Sha. Swad Fatha Sa. Swad Fatha Sa. Dhad Fatha Dha. Dhad Fatha Dha. Ta Fatha Ta. Ta Fatha Ta. Dha Fatha Dha. Dha Fatha Dha. Ain Fatha A. Ain Fatha A. Ghain Fatha Gha. Ghain Fatha Gha. Fa Fatha Fa. Fa Fatha Fa. Qaf Fatha Qa. Qaf Fatha Qa. Kaf Fatha Ka. Kaf Fatha Ka. Lam Fatha La. Lam Fatha La. mim fatha ma, mim fatha ma, nun fatha na, nun fatha na, ha fatha ha, ha fatha ha, waw fatha wa, waw fatha wa, lam alif fatha la, lam alif fatha la, hamzat fatha a, hamzat fatha a, ta fatha ta, ta fatha ta, ya fatha ya, ya fatha ya. MashaAllah. I would like to give a little explanation on some 3 different letters here, in order that you don't get confused. Letter alif, hamzat, and lam alif. Now, letter alif is the same as hamzat. Of course, in some 2 or 3 lessons to come, we'll be dealing with upper and lower cases, and that is when you will understand this better. However, I just want to make it very clear that letter alif is the same as letter hamzat. Also, lam alif. Lam alif is a combination of 2 different letters. It's a combination of letter lam and letter alif that comes together to form lam alif. So if you will realize during our reading, you realize that when we got to lam alif, we had to stress it. We had to stress it, and then we gave it a long vowel. However, all the letters that we have read, we gave them short vowels. But when we came to lam alif, we gave it a long vowel. In other words, we had to pull it a little. So remember, when we said wa, fatha, we said wa. But lam alif, fatha, la. Lam alif, fatha, la. That one, because it contains 2 different letters put together, it gave it a long vowel sound. With example, 2 A's. Now, let's move to the last part of the lesson. Of course, the phase of accountability. As we've said, and always repeat, accountability is the peak of everything. Lesson number 2, exercise. Write each of the letters about to display on your screen into your study book and try reading each letter using the study guideline. Write each of the letters about to display on your screen into your study book and try reading each letter using the study guideline. Remember, at the beginning of the lesson, we said that you should get a study book while you join this lesson. Now it is the time to use the study book. You are supposed to write the letters that are about to display into your study book. Now these are the letters. Write them as they have appeared into your study book. You draw the table nicely, and then you fill in the table with the letters as they have appeared. Remember, in this course, you are not only learning how to read the Quran, but you are equally learning how to write the words of the Quran. Just like you can write any other language that you have studied, we want you to also be able to write the Arabic language, inshallah. Because in future, we will even be teaching you how to speak Arabic. And that will be the time you will need that skills the more, inshallah. So you draw this table nicely, and then you write the letters as they have appeared. Practice makes man perfect. And remember, according to the rules of the exercise, after writing, then you are supposed to read the script that you have written by yourself. Write and read. In reading, try as much as you can to follow the rules of the pronunciation. Rule number 1, mention the letter. Rule number 2, mention the character written on the letter. And then the final one is merging them and then be able to pronounce, inshallah. If you have any problem, you can still go back, listen to the lectures very well, and then you will be able to answer the exercise. Please try and do this because it will be of help to you. And then remember, each lesson that we are delivering, it has a connection with the next lesson. So if you don't understand lesson number 1 correctly, you won't be able to understand lesson number 2. And then it goes in that order, inshallah. And this brings us to the end of today's lesson. See you for the next lesson, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.